All right, settle in, you magnificent nerds and nature enthusiasts, because today we're diving headfirst into the chaotic, utterly bewildering, and frankly, kind of terrifying world of a creature that looks like it was designed by a committee of drunk lumberjacks and then given a superiority complex. We're talking about the moose. Specifically, we're talking about the moose in the fall, which, if you didn't know, is basically their version of spring break, but with more antler-based wrestling and significantly less tequila. Ever wonder what happens when a creature the size of a small car with the grace of a particularly confused tractor decides it's time to find love? What kind of primal antler-fueled ballet unfolds in the quiet golden forest of autumn? And perhaps most importantly, why does it all feel like a very aggressive, very hairy dating show with life or death stakes? Well, buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to embark on a journey into the moose rut, where the air is thick with testosterone, the ground is scraped raw by hooves, and romance is, shall we say, a contact sport. So the moose, elches to our science nerd friends out there. These majestic gangly giants of the boreal forests populate the frosty reaches of Canada and Alaska, across Scandinavia and into the dense woods of Russia, and spend most of the year in glorious solitary indifference. They munch on aquatic plants, browse on willows, and generally act like the introverted, somewhat awkward teenagers of the animal kingdom. They are, to put it mildly, big. We're talking up to 1,500 pounds of pure, unadulterated herbivore, standing over 6 feet tall at the shoulder. And then fall hits. And suddenly, these gentle giants transform into, well, let's just say their inner beast mode gets activated. It's less Zen master of the forest now, and more over-caffeinated linebacker who forgot his Ritalin. This annual spectacle is known as the rut. It's when the boys, those magnificent bulls, decide it's time to flex their genetic muscles and convince a discerning cow that they are, in fact, the premier purveyor of moosey manliness in the entire woodland. Now let's talk antlers. And yes, here, size does matter. These colossal bony protrusions that can span up to 6 feet wide are not just for looking stylish. Oh no, they are sophisticated high-performance combat gear. As summer fades, the velvet, that fuzzy covering that helps these bony baneless grow, starts to itch. And what does a bull moose do when he's got an itch? He rubs it. He rubs trees, he rubs bushes, he rubs anything that stands still long enough. This isn't just about personal hygiene, folks, this is about broadcasting. Every scrape, every gouge in a tree trunk is a giant neon sign screaming, "I am here, I am strong, and I am ready to partay." These rub trees are essentially their Tinder profile, but instead of carefully curated selfies, it's a demonstration of raw, tree-destroying power. But it gets better. Bulls don't just rub, they thrash, they stomp, they churn up the earth with their hooves, creating these giant muddy rut pits. And then they pee in them. Yeah, you heard that right. They pee in their own little mud bath. Ugh. Why, you ask? Well, because moose urine contains pheromones. These chemical love letters, unique to each bull, tell any passing cow, "Hey there, sugar plum, I'm available." Look at this desperado. You're trying too hard, bud. And also, I'm quite robust, as evidenced by my ability to dig a giant hole and fill it with my own golden nectar. It's like a combination of personal advertisement and a very pungent territorial flag. Science nerds with their fancy degrees call this olfactory communication. I call it aggressive self-perfuming. So the visual and olfactory advertisements are out there. Now, how do these majestic creatures actually talk to each other during this hormone-addled season? Well, it's not exactly sweet serenades. The bull moose has a call that sounds like a cross between a guttural groan, a desperate cough, and someone trying to start an old diesel engine on a cold morning. It's a low, rumbling bellow that echoes through the forest, telling other bulls, "I'm here, don't even think about it," and telling cows, "Come hither, my pretty, for I'm a prime specimen of raw moosey magnetism." But the cows, oh the cows, they have a call that is, shall we say, distinct. It's a long, mournful, almost guttural moan, sometimes described as a wail. It's basically the sound of a cow moose saying, "Is anyone out there? I'm feeling particularly receptive today," and also slightly dramatic. Scientists, those brave nerds who aren't afraid of a 1,500-pound beast, have even observed bulls mimicking cow calls, presumably to lure in potential mates or perhaps just to mess with other bulls. It's an incredible display of vocal trickery. Imagine being a bull, hearing that seductive moan, only to find out it's just another bull trying to pull a fast one. Oh, the shame, the indignity of it all. So, a cow's in estrus, multiple bulls have picked up the scent, heard the calls, and seen the rubbed trees. What happens next? Well, gentle viewers, it's time for the main event, the head-banging hoedown. When two bulls meet, it's not always an immediate brawl. Sometimes it's a lot of posturing. They'll walk parallel to each other, assessing one another. They'll thrash their antlers in the bushes, trying to look bigger, badder, and more likely to spontaneously combust with raw power. It's basically a staring contest, but with potentially lethal consequences. But if neither bull backs down, then the ritual begins. They lock antlers, and when I say lock antlers, I mean they smash those giant bone structures together with the force of a small, very angry asteroid impact. This isn't just a casual bump. This is a test of strength, endurance, and sheer willpower. They push, they shove, they twist their necks trying to gain an advantage, to throw their opponent off balance. Sometimes these battles can last for hours. Hours! Imagine an arm wrestling match that's been going on since breakfast and the loser gets exiled from the dating pool. It's not without risks though. Antlers can get tangled, leaving both bulls stuck until one finally gives up, or tragically until they both succumb to exhaustion or predators. It's a harsh world out there for a love-struck moose. The winner of this brutal dance gets the privilege of attempting to mate with the cow. The loser slinks away, perhaps to find a less competitive patch of forest, or simply to lick his wounds and wait for next year's hormonal roller coaster. It's a simple, albeit violent, system of natural selection, ensuring that only the biggest, strongest, and most persistent moose gets to pass on their gloriously gangly genes. The moose rut is a truly wild spectacle. It's a testament to the raw power of nature, the relentless drive to reproduce, and the fact that sometimes even the most awkward creatures can turn into absolute beasts when love is on the line. So, from the tree-shredding antler advertisements to the pungent pea pits and their full-contact head-butting duels, the moose rut is a masterclass in aggressive, no-holds-barred romance. And be sure to subscribe for more fascinating facts from the wild. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next time. Let us know in the comments which of these bizarre rutting behaviors blew your mind the most.